lot of fun today because I got myself a sit me down with Steve Smith. That's a bit of an alliteration. Steve Smith, how do you rate yourself as a captain? What sort of captain are you?
I like to be quite positive and quite aggressive on the field. You know, I don't like to talk about it too much. I kind of just try and go and do it my way. But look, I've really enjoyed the experiences that I've had captaining any teams, whether it be Rajasthan, the Sixers, New South Wales or Australia.
The differences that apply in changing those formats, to applying yourself as not just a captain but as a player in different formats?
Yeah, look, I think for me, in regards to my batting, it's about, you know, having different gears to go up and down. That's the main things for me. I think my basics stay the same pretty much. I think it's just about my practice. In the nets during a T20, I practice more of my slogging or trying to hit sixes rather than, I guess, in Test cricket I'm trying to just play each ball on its merits, leaving well and playing good cricket shots. So I think those are the major changes. I don't like to change too much with my technique or mindset. It's just about having different gears to be able to go up and down when they need to.
Are you the kind of player that, you know, beats yourself up if it doesn't work out? Do you take it hard?
Yeah, look, I really love winning and I love succeeding and you know, I guess being part of a team and contributing to the team's success. So look, I do beat myself up a little bit if I particularly don't do well with the bat, but it's only for a couple of hours and then or an hour or less, and I'm usually back onto the task.
But you leave the cricket on the field. It's when you get back to the home or hotel room, it's gone, is it?
Generally, yes.
Yeah. We'll ask Danny about that.
Yeah.
We'll ask him. So in 4 years, from World Cup to World Cup, from 2011 to 2015, what a contrast it was for you to someone in 2011 didn't really get much of an opportunity to express yourself, still maybe didn't know how you fit into the side, and in 2015 you're the main guy, you know. Yeah. Things change.
Yeah, things certainly did change. And I think I was obviously still quite young in the 2011 World Cup here in India, and I think I was playing more as I think I was number 7 and being more of a bowler. I guess since then things have turned around quite a bit for me. Obviously, I think I started the 2015 World Cup batting at 5, and then I moved my way up to 3 for the last 5 or 6 games, and I think I got 50s in over 50 in all of those games. So look, it was where I wanted to bat. I love batting at 3. It's a great place to bat in one-day cricket, and yeah, hopefully I've made it my own for a while now.
And the build-up to that was, of course, this incredible summer that you had against India in Australia, that Test series. You're averaging 128. India doesn't know how to get you out. I mean, we're just like, what do we do with this guy? I mean, not only because of the player that you were and the kind of batsman that you became, but because of the supreme leader that you emerged. What was that series for you? What did it mean?
Yeah, look, it was a huge series for me in so many ways. Obviously, the first time I got to captain Australia in Test cricket, which was a dream come true. You know, you don't think about those things growing up. You think about just being a part of the team and doing that. That's a dream come true as well. But to actually walk out as the leader of the Australian cricket team was, you know, an unforgettable experience.
No one would imagine the kind of batsman that you are today, because starting off with something like legsman, was it planned? Did you know what you wanted to be? For
me, I've always seen myself as more of a batsman. You know, I think I was just really lucky to get the opportunity to play my first 2 Test matches as a spin bowler. But for me, I've always seen my batting as my strongest side, and at the moment it's probably my only side of my game. I haven't bowled really at all in a game for a while. So look, that's how I saw myself, and I said if I ever got another opportunity to play for Australia after I got dropped, it was to come back as a batsman and to try and be successful at it.
But from the start, were you always into sport or academics? When did cricket actually capture your imagination?
Cricket probably captured my imagination when I was about 5 years old, to be honest.
Wow, that young.
That young.
So don't tell me, you were one of those kids in the backyard playing cricket?
All the time.
Wow.
All the time. So, yeah, look, I probably wasn't the most academic student at school. You know, I was always the one that wanted to do all the sports and, you know, PE and that kind of thing. So, yeah, it was always sports for me. But
growing up, idols, or was there a cricketer that you looked up to? I mean, at 5 years old, how do you get into a sport?
I guess Dad was pretty, you know, big on me playing sports. He was the one that got me into cricket. I guess idols growing up, I think Michael Slater was one and Mark Waugh was the other. They were my two favourite. I think Mark Waugh, the way he played the game was so amazing. He was so elegant in everything he did, and you know, he was a great player to watch.
Growing up now, obviously you're at an age where you can look back at, you know, it's not just a kid who's looking up to them or motivated anymore. So now as an adult, what do you think it is about them that inspired you?
I think just watching the way they played. Mark Waugh was just, it seemed like he did everything with just so much ease. You know, he was so elegant no matter what he did, whether it was bowling his off spinners that he bowled, you know, or playing shots out in the middle and fielding as well. You know, everything he did, he made look so easy, and I think that was one of the reasons why I liked him so much growing up.
And I mean, your dad supported that, but your family as well, when the day you decided to take it to a professional level, were they supportive of you doing that?
Yeah, look, I think at that stage I was probably 17. I still had 3 months left or thereabouts of my school, and I decided to leave and go over to England and try and, I guess, enhance my skills in cricket. And I think Mum and Dad didn't like it to begin with, but you know, I took a lot of convincing and they warmed to it, and you know, my principal at my high school really warmed to the idea, and you know, I think it was the right decision for me in the end.
All right, so tell me a little bit more about Steve Smith, the cricketer, in terms of off-field. Do you have certain habits, superstitions? You know, what's a match day like for you? How do you prepare?
Yeah, I don't have too many superstitions. I'd say one of my match day things that I do is I generally listen to music on the way to the ground.
So, favorite artist? Or?
No, a bit of everything, but I just make sure that the last song I listen to is the song 23 by Jimmy Eat World. I think I don't remember when that started, but I remember that was the last song that I listened to, and I went out and batted, and you know, I kept like singing the song in my head as I was batting, and I think I did well that day. I think I scored 100, and ever since that day it's always been I guess a routine for me to listen to that song last.
I want to ask you something which we'll call a bit of an out-of-court settlement, because it's not always about cricket, but you're a big tennis fan.
I am.
Yeah? A Roger Federer fan.
Absolutely.
What, I mean, he's a champion without a doubt, but what is it about Roger Federer that, you know, impresses you or aligns you to him?
I think just the way he's so humble and so elegant in everything he does. I think I probably compare him a little bit to Mark Waugh, my favourite player growing up. You know, I think the way they do things are very similar. It just looks like they're, you know, floating as they're playing. You know, they're floating in the clouds as they're playing. They do everything so easily and so crisply and just so elegant, and you know, that's something that I really admire, and I think the way that he just accepts everything, whether he wins or loses, you probably wouldn't notice. You know, that kind of thing. He's just such a humble guy.
But you met him during the Australian Open. Did you get a picture with him?
I did, yeah, and I think to have seen him from the outside and see him the way, as I just said, as such a humble human and things like that, to meet him and then to have those same thoughts about him after that, you know, that's a really pleasing thing for me.
Do you feel that, I mean, when we meet you, you seem to be shy, understated. Do you feel that's the kind of personality that you develop because you look up to someone like Mark Waugh or Roger Federer? Is that just you, Steve?
I'm not too sure. Look, I try to stay as level-headed and on the ground as possible. You know, there's probably a few circumstances where I go over the top a little bit with my emotions, particularly on the field. But look, I like to try and stay as level-headed as possible and live in the moment and not look too far ahead or behind me. So, yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
So sometimes we discovered to get the best out of our cricketers is to ask them a bit of a rapid fire.
Sure.
Just the first thought that comes to your head. Have you ever had something weird happen in the dressing room, some sort of dressing room bloopers? Anything you remember?
Not really. I think there's been a couple of moments where I think you go from, you know, really air-conditioned dressing rooms out to the heat, and sometimes your back group's really slippery, and I think I've gone out in a game before and my back group's been really slippery and I've thrown the bat, one of my first shots that I've played. So.
All right, let's say you have a little bit of a mishap in the field, like a misfield or something like that, and it's a live match and the camera zooms in on you. Do you control your emotions? What do you try and do in that situation? Because you know everyone's looking.
Yeah, they are. I try to. I've probably been caught a few times smacking the ground and hopefully not using too many bad words, but yeah, look, I try to control my emotions as much as possible.
Your first crush, did you ever have one?
First crush, like a celebrity crush?
Anything.
Yeah, look, I've always liked Kristen Bell actually, so yeah, we'll say her.
I got to ask you, have you ever been mistaken for another cricketer or anyone else famous?
I think I've been mistaken for Shane Watson a few times, to be honest. Although we look nothing alike, I think I've been mistaken for Shane a few times.
Did you ever sign as Shane Watson?
Never signed as Shane Watson. His signature's, he's got a big capital S and a capital S at the end as well, so it probably could be mistaken for mine somehow as well.
Films? Are you into films at all? Do you have a favourite?
I am, yeah. Favourite film? Probably of late, I really enjoyed the movie Olympus Has Fallen. So yeah, I'd say that's right up there.
Any film that has, over the years, even growing up, inspired you or, you know, just settled with you, had a moment with you?
It's called The Legend of Bagger Vance. You know, it really used to inspire me to play golf and try and get in the zone, and I think it might have helped me a little bit, yeah.
So if someone made a sports movie on you, who do you think should play you?
Matt Damon, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure why, but
I could see it.
He's pretty good in those kind of movies, I reckon.
Being in India, you cannot but help avoid Bollywood. It's always in your face. Is it something that have you ever seen a Bollywood film or caught on to the craze?
I've never actually watched a Bollywood film, to be honest. You know, I've said for a long time that I'll try and do that, so I should probably get onto that.
What if you got approached for a role, like a cameo in a Bollywood movie? Would you do it?
Maybe. It'd be a good fun, I think, a different experience, so yeah, why not?
Okay, so anyone watching, if you have a cameo role available, Steve Smith is the man for the job.